Welcome to part 3 of this. So, today and now, we are installing the hard drive racks into the case and every other component into the case. I'm going to do probably hard drive racks in a bit. I've already installed the fans in previous episodes. I made these custom power cables. I had to cut and solder them so they're just the most compact they can be. I think now we're going to throw the RAM and CPU in because it's literally 2 seconds. Because it's a 2-second operation. It's like just, okay, here you go, Athlon. Drop Athlon in there. Does that count as grounding out? Because, I mean, I am on carpet in socks, so it has been a fucking while since I've installed the CPU. What a beautiful little thing. There's our little arrow. You lift your lever. You look for the arrow. I should have looked for the arrow beforehand. Wow, why don't I see the arrow? Oh, there's the arrow. Yep, that makes perfect sense. I'm putting this in. You should feel it drop into the holes. It shouldn't just be like, I don't know. It should just go, boom. There's so many pins and so many holes. It'll just drop. Give it a wiggle. Sounds good. Push down. Clip. That's it. You're done. You've installed your CPU. Congratulations. Take the little sticker out because you need to put the sticker somewhere because you can't have an Athlon CPU without... Are there multiple? There's multiple. It says Radeon Vega graphics. That don't matter because I'm never going to actually have a monitor hooked up to this. Except for maybe the initial turn on. Everything else should be able to be done through consoles and web browsers. So that's installed. Let's do the... This is this. It automatically comes with the cooler paste attached. I have crazy good paste, so I have to clean this off and lap it. I'm not doing that. So, is there a direction for this? I don't think there's a specific direction for how they want you to attach this. I'm going to assume that the latch is at the bottom, just for my convenience, because there's 2 mounted pieces of plastic here. The CPU fan is up top there, but I don't care. Now we're basically going to drop this on top. I'm hooking that under it. This is a rocking lock, so just center it as best you can. You got a little bit of free space, and I'm just going to put that around there. It's around that ledge. This is a ratcheting latch, so you're just going to sort of push it onto that same thing and then lift. As you slightly put on pressure, just give the CPU thing a spin, and it should be, as soon as you go past, that's it. It's pressing down super hard onto that. Now I'm going to plug this. I'm going to leave the wire as looped as I can to just take up space. I want it to be out of the way. And I'm just going to plug this into the CPU fan header, which is all the way up here. It's a very stiff wire. And you notice the RAM, I did not install the RAM because that RAM will be right in my way right here. RAM is next, and the RAM slots are not labeled. I want to know which one's 1. Usually you're supposed to put in DDR, there you go. DDR4 1, DDR4 2. So 1 is the one that's further away from the CPU, which is a little bit strange, I think. And I haven't read the manual completely, but it should work in either one. I'm just going to put it in slot 1. First time touched by human hands. There's digital camouflage on my RAM. I wonder if everything is just gaming related. So now there is a notch here, and you just want to make sure that the notch is biased to one side like a little bit. And I wish it was biased to one side by more than a little bit. Open the hold gates. One side in. Other side in. Now, it's going to feel like you got to push down pretty hard. I'm going to do the bottom first. It clicked. Top. Clicked. Done. That's installed. Anything else that's got to go in here? No. Now, we have a couple things coming off my power supply. This, I've already got the 8-pin all at the top because that came through here. So that is the first thing I did after I installed the motherboard. This is the main power cable, and that's just going to plug in, but I'm not going to do it right away. I just want this the fuck out of my way for now because we were doing fan runs, which are now done, but now we have to go back, and now we have to do hard drives because that's it. We have a computer. It's officially a computer is installed. This would boot up if there was an operating system. It just wouldn't have much space. So, since if you were following me for the second part, you'll know that these are shucked drives from a Western Digital external, and unfortunately Western Digital cheaps the fuck out. And even though they're enterprise rated drives, there's no middle screw. Most hard drives have two end screws and then a center screw. And these cages are designed for a center screw, and there's none, so these sort of just like wiggle around like loose teeth. Now, I bent them in a little bit, and there are rubber gaskets there holding it, but it's nothing preventing it from like banging into each other. What's going to prevent it from banging into each other are these wires that I put together. Now, they're labeled. It really doesn't, they're the same length cables, and they're all built in the same way, where I have just wire tied, just bread ties basically, all the ones that came with these cables, to get these heads exactly the same distance apart as they would be if they were here. So this is what's going to actually keep these drives from smashing into each other. This, and to a lesser extent the power cables, because the power cables I'm going to fold up between the spaces, because or else they'll hang down too far and hit. Well, I could flip this over now. Actually, I can flip it over without concern for that. What are you? I missed one. I missed a fan. Gotta go back and edit the last one. Hold on. Hold, please. I knew I wasn't able to count. I'm gonna go under all of this crap. Again, I'll repeat, the nice thing about these fans is they just daisy chain all the connections. So even though they're pulse width modulated fans, they just bounce, bounce, bounce. And I could actually make this one not the second one. Make this one the third one, which will make this a little bit neater. And drape along the floor a little more, sort of bringing it back. Yeah, see, this is good. This is good OCD stuff. And now we can put this in here, and now the flow. Look how much nicer it just stays to the floor. Okay, the yin and yang and chi is all adjusted and fixed. So here is where the hard drive racks are going. This is obviously the bottom of the unit. That's the top. I'm looking down the side. These just slide in. Now, instead of putting them in, mounting them, and trying to fucking plug things underneath it, which is I'm going to do all the wiring out here on the table, and taking a completed wiring unit and then slide it in. And as I'm sliding it in, adjust the wires through that hole or through this giant hole. It's a giant hole. Just use the giant hole, Zeos. My brain is telling me to use the little hole at the bottom because that's more professional. Stop. I have a Temptations pack filled with a little wire ties in case we want to do some more modifications. I'm going to stand this up. That one's like sort of sliding, like stop sliding. So that's on the end. Power second, these first. So the empty slots in these are the fascia. So I could add a hard drive from the front, which means that there's going to be, these have to mount like this with this front one unattached. Non-attached. This one has the bigger bend in it because I was practicing for this side. This one's going to go here on this side. So that means it's going to be this rack, I'm calling it. Let's turn this around so that we go like this. So the fourth drive, the rear drive, plugged in, then the third drive, plugged in, then the second drive, plugged in, and then there is no first drive to plug in. So it's just going to sit there. The day when the first drive comes in, boom, I just add it in. I'll do the same on this, which I spent the time bending this because I was figuring it out. This other side is a little bit easier to sort of deal with. It's going to hit the same wall, so it's going to need a bend. I just don't need to concern myself too much with it. So let's do the same thing. This is backwards. Backwards. That's what this is. Drive 4. Drive 3. Trying it, baby. But the police arrest me. Pasta's been sending me lots of pornography. I can't. Oh, she just said lol. I said I do beautiful work-ish. So now these can still swing, but they swing as a group, so they won't bang into each other at least. And this one's a little bit off. What I'm going to do now is power. So that's signal. And now this is the extreme bends. This is the farthest away one where I built 2 of these. One of them is slightly longer power. That's going out here. This one also has 5 connectors on top, and that one I cut down to 4. We need the 5th connector for the fan controller because for some reason it's a fucking eSATA cable. And then the very first connector here floats and does nothing because there's no drive there. So we start with these 3 middle ones. We're doing 3 middle connections. And I'm going to do this one first. And then look how far it is to the next connector. So I can't have it swing down because it'll actually hit the fan on top of this. So I'm going to do a little bit of like a dance. This is like a little bit of a modern art dance. Where I'm going to take this wire, plug it in here, and then do that with the extra. Where it'll actually keep the hard drives from hitting each other because there's now a wire shoved in the middle. So there's that. So let's just do that. Now I'm going to try to do that again where it is just as beautiful. Okay, come on. Ah, pinched my skin. So that's there, wire. That's there, wire. And this will be here for another one, but for now it's nothing, and then this is getting plugged in. So I'm going to eventually just get another 2 14 terabyte drives, or any size, he said. One of the things JDM Huat specified about this is that you could add any size drive you want. You don't have to add another specific this size 14 in order to keep the RAID array healthy. It doesn't matter. Now this one I cut down to only have 4, which means this back one gets plugged in directly. And then we do the cool bend. I don't have to do the cool bend on this side because there's space below it, but I'm consistent if nothing else. So a little bit of a kink bend. It's got to be a kink bend or there's no point. And then this last one obviously doesn't need to be bent because we don't have that 4th drive. So boom, boom, boom. Let me hear you say away-o. Whale. And then this one goes up behind the drives to plug into this thing, which that's going to be a fun effort to try to slide a drive in while plugging this in. And I can't wait to record that for posterity. Just take all your CPU boxes. See, I told you I used a pizza box last episode. genericpizza.com.org. Let me take a picture of this because he wants to post like a mini guide and I want to show off my beautiful work. That's sexy AF, by the way. If I was in Northern Ireland, I would be taking pictures like this, but it wouldn't be fun stuff like NAS's. It would be improvised explosive devices. They'd be so well built. Like this was the Arcazé. I love that movie Blown Away. If you haven't seen the movie Blown Away, go watch the movie Blown Away. Boom. Okay. So now, I don't want to do this looking down into the case because that's be bad. It will just drop. So we're going to stand this back up, which is going to put you guys in the dark because this is the Hero 4. And you're basically going to be watching me grunt for the next few minutes. So hope you enjoy that. Power is going to get plugged in here to the rails. That's a big old son of a bitch. I don't even know what that's for because I have the motherboard and everything. That's just, I don't know what that red one is. HeavyKink.com. Feels like a website I need to purchase. Heavy kink. Nothing but heavy kinks. All the time. Okay, so that's... Can I plug this in yet? No. No, I can't. It doesn't reach yet. Will it reach? Oh my god, it's like... It's literally that scene from Back to the Future where Doc Brown is like... And this is as fucking long as it gets. Which direction am I looking at? Alright. This is the only one I got, too. Oh, I could just get him to kiss. I have to slide this back a little more. This is the worst. I should just solder new wire onto this. This is the absolute worst fucking design ever. This case sucks. I was going to say I like this case, but now this... Alright, I got it to mostly attach. It's my flashlight. My Maritech inspection light. Oh, it's a little crooked. That is attached. Holy fuck. I knew it would be tight. I didn't think it would be that tight. So now... Oof. That oofed. We just had a slight oof. Because since the drives can swing, they crashed the back of the SATA cables and all the drives went whoop all in a row, but they still did that. Which I can't allow them to do that because I need to be able to add a fourth drive. So, do that. So that looks like they're straight. That's straight enough. Certainly straight enough to add a fourth drive in here. I'm going to add a thumb screw. Actually, I'm going to add both thumb screws. I shouldn't need to pull this back out now. Or ever, for that matter. Shouldn't need to. Shouldn't. Shouldn't is the word. Always the word. I just don't want it to slide. I don't want to like lean under or look in it. Just so all three drives slide out to the floor. This is a big case. Like it's a small case, but it's a big case. It's designed like one of those big cases, but it's a small case. So there's a lot of effort you got to put into. Like here's where the last drive would go. I'd have to pull this out, slide it out just enough to get screws in the side, and then put it back in, which is fine. But it's better than trying to do this wiring while it's in place. That'd be fucking nightmare. So this goes down, but we're not doing that yet. And this, like I said, I'm going to definitely be that asshole that puts it through the bottom hole. There you go. Yeah. I'm just going to leave it here for now. That should be good. With the other one in place, it's going to be a little bit hard to get to these power plugs. So I'm going to... I don't know where my flashlight is. Like my good magnetized flashlight, which would be great for this. We have the 4-pin and the rolls are up. So we're going to be going here. And I guess I'll do the farther one here. Oh, come on. There we go. So that's there. I still have plenty of room for this. Because that's a concern is when I add the next drive. That has to be able to reach. And it does. Without issue. So, I'll take a picture of that. Should I put the flash on? I never put the flash on my camera, ever. Because upskirts become difficult. I'm just kidding. I tell everyone I'm doing their upskirts. They're all super into it. It's 2020. It's like, yeah. Do it. Probably old dudes in that case, I think. So that's there. That's... This has to not be in the way when that fucking monster comes. But that monster's still going to hit like right here. I wish this hole was bigger. Okay. I guess I'll leave this just shoved dramatically in there. Okay. So now this doesn't have any sort of bend in it at all. So I'm going to try to bend it just straight the fuck down. A piece of electrical tape covering where I cut off the power just came a little loose. Well, that's just straight in. That didn't have any issue, nor did it swing, because I bent it straight down. That one is bending and coming over, which makes it a little more difficult. Here is our final expansion drive, and here is where we're plugging into the motherboard, which I can do in a second. Not this second, in a second, because I'm going to go... Let's deal with 4 at a time. This got a little bit heavy with all the hard drives living in it. The 4 at a time we're dealing with. So, did I mark these? I did not mark these. Which was which? There should be a marking on this. It says M and C. M is motherboard. So the ones on the far end are the motherboard connections. So these guys need to go there. And did I mark 1, 2, 3, 4? I could probably figure it out from their length. But for now, I don't think I need to 100% worry about which one's which. Like if one goes bad or if one's not working, it's like, well, check the wire. And I should have, when I just pulled them out, fucking checked the wire. Or at least marked which wire was which. Let's just get this fluted in. I'm going to do the shortest one on the bottom because that makes the most sense. Because one of these is going to be just a dead in the water sort of wire. 2, 3, and there's the 4th. Okay, those 4 drives are now wired properly. The other one will go here. So now that those are in place, this wire's here, this wire's here, I can move this over so we can OCD wire through the other hole again. Just keep putting it through that same hole. CS needs it all in the same hole.com. So we've got to do a full 360 or 180 no scope, which is actually much easier than a 360 no scope. So we're not looking through this. Okay. Working on my knees. Honestly, it's better than a standing desk. Just a knee desk. Same deal. Just leave this in the fan. That'd be kind of cool. Where can I do that? We're gonna do that where it lights up the best. Maybe I shouldn't jam it in the fan. Ooh, perfect. Okay, so we've got 4 wires. The shortest. I gotta figure out under the power cables. Under these other ones, I'm gonna go the shortest one. I think they're, yeah, the clips down. Shortest, followed by the next one, clip down above that, followed by the next one. I'm just doing it in some sort of pattern. This bottom again, and then top. So there are our 8. I'm blind. That was fucking bright. Oh, did you see that? Fucking fuck. Okay. There's like a purple streak. There's our 8 connections. There's our M2 drive. There's our we don't have a graphics card. It's built in HDMI. It's fine. We got our sticker RAM. We got our Athlon. Got our JZ chain of fans, which ends sort of just like here. So I can just keep adding more fans. Keep adding more fans. And that's coming out of the system fan, which is that one. You could just tuck this back or not. It doesn't really matter. That's not going to bother me if there was a big chunk of wires bothering me. We do have a big chunk to deal with, though. This is the power supply for the motherboard. We're going to plug that in. PCB made in China, which I'm probably going to let it just sort of like float in the middle. Instead of trying to tuck it back, the best thing I could do for airflow is not tuck it back. We're not entering this in any beauty contests. This is a strictly work-related monster. So having this be up means the air is going to go under it, and this is a wall anyway. Now these are for the graphics card, which is never going to be installed, so you could just tuck this fucking under here. Just shove it. Shove it away. Perfect, there. Don't have to worry about any of this. Done. That's a done. That's done. The whole build is done, actually. This fucking flashlight gets hot. Actually, no, the build's not done. First, I'm going to add 2 more thumb screws to these drives because I didn't do that. And that was a big boo-boo on my part. They just went in so smoothly. And I had contemplated in the first video putting the fan between the drives. I will wait until I know. Because this will still fit right here. It'll fit. I could mount this. I could just shove something underneath it to hold it up and it'll just blow between the drives. I just don't know if I need it yet. If my drive temperatures are over like 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Yes, I use fucking Fahrenheit. I was never that much into computers that I had to switch to Celsius in my brain. I remember my computer once hit like 100 degrees Celsius and I was like, wait, that's too hot. It was bad. It was bad news. It's very bad news bears. How do I pick this up now? So one last plug for the plug throne is to plug this into another rail. And I'm going to do it, I'm going to skip a rail and go here. Because I don't actually know which way the rails are wired, but I'm going to put them the furthest away from each other. So now I have that one and that one. Each rack is set up. I have room for one more drive here and here, which will be a total of 8. You can't fit more than that in this. And I have the power cord here for one and the power cord here for one, which is going to bother my OCD is going to spend $500 more because it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Now I should try to boot this up, at least get it to post. Let's get it to post. Let me gather things. Are we back? Is this part 3? No, wait, I was in part 3. I was gathering things. Then the camera gave me an SD card error after the first 10 seconds. I was so happy it was the first 10 seconds. Oh, so I'm all ready to like do this boot test, like just to see what's posts. Got the monitor out. I got one of that LePow that I had. I've got it wired up. I got power. I got my little kilowatt hooked up to an extension cord, so I can see how much draw we're getting. We need to reattach the faceplate. We have to do the bad part. The bad part of any computer build, and anyone will tell you this from the year of the flood, is getting those fucking pins hooked up. I'm gonna leave everything else off if I can, but I have to do this. This is, oh my god, oh, the nightmare. I should be able to leave most of the excess back here though, but still, this is a nightmare. We have got, is that a microphone? What is that? Speaker? What is that? That might be like a speaker. Let's see what it says. These are usually labeled hard drive LED. Really? Really? What the fuck good is that? What? Where? How is that gonna be good? Unless it's shooting a laser at the floor. And then we have our 2 USB extensions, which I want to definitely have those hooked up. This should just be power LED. No, that's power LED. So what is this? The switch? Power switch. So this is our power switch, which is that. Front audio, I really could just not hook this up, but I'm gonna hook it up anyway. And here is our power LED, which is 2 separate little lines because they suck. No one can standardize this shit. It's been like 200 years. So these things should go through either this bottom hole or this middle hole. I might just do the middle hole because I think it'll be easier. The bottom hole will be neater. The middle hole will be easier. So I'm going to do the middle hole. For once, I'm going to do the easier hole. Phrasing? Are we even doing phrasing? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it on the table there for all of this. Get my flashlight back out, which I really should have the flashlight that attaches to my head. Because we've got all these things down here, which this card is sort of being a dick and in the way. Look how long this is. Oh my god. I'm going to leave so much of it tucked in front of here, which is going to block fans. Because the fans are, here's the thing, I can't even do that. Because these fans are exposed. I do have mesh grills for the fans. But if I got to pull out the grills to clean them, these wires are going to fall into the fucking fan blades. Nightmare. This is all nightmare fuel, all of it. Look how small that CPU cooler is. It's hysterical. Okay, Gordon. This is the only one that goes into that. Of course, the most convenient one, at least, so. Under all this shit, gently lift up. Aww. Of course, it's perfectly bent the exact wrong direction for where it needs to plug in. Like it was perfect, except it was upside down. Doing this in the dark, you people can't see it. Doesn't matter, you're not here for the sights, you're here for the sounds. That is connected. So now I'm gonna have to deal with this fucking monstrosity of wires. Which is probably good I came out with it. I can actually put them in the even higher hole. And I'll probably kill a little bit of the loop if I go even higher. Does that affect me negatively if I go to a higher hole? No, it's fine. Okay, we'll bring them in one at a time. Hard drive LED. Now, where's my manual? Because this is going to show me exactly where this shit is. I don't want to have to look. SPDIF. Oh, output. This is a fiber optic output. TPM. Tire pressure monitors? We have tire pressure monitors here? No? Good. 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 Front USB, front panel, front USB 3, which is what that is. Front panel, clear CMOS. It's fucking pins. You don't even give me a goddamn button. This really was a cheap motherboard. Holy, oh, that was bright. Speaker. We have a speaker connector, but there's no speaker on this unit. I miss having a speaker. Remember when I used to try to play sounds, like when you were playing like a really old game? Front audio, which is this, is all the way in the back. Would I benefit from pulling this card out? Just pull it out, let it rest here, and then do everything, and then put it back? I don't think... As long as I don't need to get to those back there, these front ones should be where I'm going. Front panel. So I need to open up and see what F panel looks like. There's got to be a close-up of it. Remember when I said there has to be a close-up of F panel? Yeah, there's fucking not. So this right here, which is at least the very front bunch, is where I'm going to be sticking. Oh yeah, I could see reset. There's no reset button. Just realize there's no... We got an LED, another LED. These two are LEDs. Power LED and hard drive LED. And this is power switch, and this is audio. There's no reset switch anymore. Didn't we used to have reset switches? Fuck. I think I'm going to ignore the audio, by the way. I think I'm going to literally... In fact, here's what I'm going to do with the front audio, because I needed this. This is how little I need the audio. I'm going to use this nice Faraday cage that they've given me. I'm going to shove that back there. And these three can come in through that same middle hole. And I will deal with them. Do I want to deal with the... See, if I deal with them from the top, if I stand this case up, which I can do, because everything is buckled in, Buckaroo Banzai style. Although those hard drives are still not... They're still swinging dicks, but I guess this is a good test. Wow, it's so heavy on that side. I got to do this. I kind of want to leave the front on. I want to see those fans spinning when I actually do it the first boot. But this is going to make it a little bit easier... Well, for somebody to see. I don't know if it's going to be me. I have this flashlight too. Problem with this one is this is the Maritech single D-cell flashlight, and it's a little dot, or it's a really bright dot. Actually, I don't think it's as bright as this thing. It's definitely a more intense dot. However, this on low will last 110 hours. Like, you can just leave this on during a blackout for 3 straight days, and it'll be fine. Is that low or high? That was low. There's high. High will last less. All right, so remember these power cords that I was like, oh, just shove them down there. Now we're unshoving those fucking power cords. We've got power LED, power switch, hard drive, reset, and normally closed. Right? Right. What's our next panel next to it? Clear CMOS and... CI? I don't know what CI is. Don't drop this in there, by the way. If you drop a flashlight using it into a motherboard, it's fine. But this has I put a lanyard on it because it's a weapon. So, oh, that's actually really convenient. Now, I can use this to plug it in. If I grab it, just get in there. Oh, it's a bitch. You're just a full-on bitch. All right, I'm gonna take this card off. There's no way to do this without taking the card off. I'm gonna take it off. Now that I've got the case physically standing up, I'm just gonna put the card up to get out of the way. Because that's this. No. Nope. Nope. There you go. Just fuck off. Everything fuck off while I try to work here. Actually, could I do this? Strap this down. Look how nice it is. And this is sort of in the way. This front panel USB that I just put in. So I'm gonna take that out of my way. This is the worst. This is the worst part of any computer build. Is getting these goddamn wires hooked up to their goddamn spots. Shut off. All right, where did they go? Because now, where are they even gonna run? I should run them against. They have to go under all this shit, don't they? Yeah, I don't want them sitting up in the middle of it. Little fiddly little fucks. I'm going to do the power LED first because that's the 2 individual ones because they can't figure out if they want front or back. So I got positive, let's do positive power LED. P LED. This one, and hopefully negative is the one right next to it. Okay. Then the power switch, I'm assuming it just says PW. And they're not, well, I could actually see through the gaps at the bottom. They're not what's it called either. The LED is positive, negative, but a switch is just a contact. So it doesn't matter which way you plug it. And now the hard drive LED is there, and that's positive out, negative this way. So we gotta, oh, it's hard for me to see which one's which. I think we got it. I think we got it. And now I just gotta put this back in. Oh my fucking, look at this mess. Look at this mess. It's a mess. Put that there. Put this here. Now, actually, I should probably talk to JDM Watt, which that's probably him right now, because I have this controller card, which doesn't have any drivers, so it's not going to read any of the hard drives. I don't expect it to. It just wanted to see it post. I wanted to see the date. I want to see that it has BIOS options. Should be good, 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 good. I'm going to lay it back down. Don't need that. Everything's hooked up, not doing audio because fuck front audio. I'm going to put this as my extra power, which is now, you know what? I could almost just leave this up here, but then that negates a lot of my happiness, my pure happiness. Let's do that. If I shove that there, lay this back down. When I go to put this fascia on, I'm gonna have to deal with a little more wiring in there. But for now, that could stay. I could actually lean this, turn this around so we have access to all this shit. Let's see if that was JDM. What? Yes. He said that's quite a bit when I showed him how much I cut off. We're getting ready for our first post. We're going to try to post, even though I got nothing with the drivers or anything, but it's all wired. It should be ready to post. Let's post. Let's see if we get a response to that. The orientation sort of matters a little bit. I'm going to go, there's my HDMI, there's my power. I got to bring this over. Bring this over. This is heavy. Now, when I put the final hard drives in here, it's going to be real heavy. And I'm just using this little shorty bastard. Power supply is off. Make sure the power supply is off. Now, you get a little extra nervous because I did a lot of soldering of like hard drive array wires. And these are all brand, like everything's brand new. If it posts, it's going to be great. If everything spins, if I could actually physically touch the drives and feel them spinning, that's going to be great. They all actually moved a bit. Currently drawing 2 watts. This, I believe, this will just turn on when there's signal. Because the biggest concern is that I turn it on. All right, there's our power. All right, now it's off. Come on. I'm very quiet now. Like a scared DJ, man. There's our green light. That's going to say no signal. We've got power. We've got video. We've got no button. We've got no keyboard or anything. I just want to see. I'm hearing stereo. All the drives spun up. Fans are spinning here. These fans are spinning there. That fan's spinning there. CPU fan spinning. CPU fan is spinning. Gigabyte. We've posted. So, just saw a bunch of Western Digitals. Oh, I saw the ones that are connected to the actual motherboard. We did it. We posted. What the fuck is that blue LED? Oh my god. The hard drive controller is covered in blue LEDs. My life is ruined and my day cannot be repaired. All right, BIOS has been reset. Please reconfigure BIOS if needed. That's it posted. It even knows today's real date. No, wait, it thinks it's Wednesday. It's not fucking Wednesday. Echo, what's today's date?
It's Tuesday, April 14th.
It thinks it's Wednesday at 6 o'clock in the morning, so I guess wherever they tested this drive in China or something. Listen to it. Do you even hear it? I don't have any of the covers on it yet. These are silent. These are less silent, but I'm on medium. There's high. Low is like low. And that's moving plenty of air just out of there. Oh, this is a beautiful breeze. It's a beautiful breeze. So now what I'm going to do, I'm not going to hook up a keyboard to this yet. I'm going to reassemble this back into its actual form. I'll take a couple pictures, reassemble the fascia onto it, get all the filters back installed, get the top installed, the sides installed, and then I'm going to start doing actual software-y things. Good. Verb. Wow. So now it's much more boring and plain looking with the aluminum fascia. I put the Athlon sticker right above the power LED. We got no window into our hard drive array. We've got this window here, which I'm going to do this for you guys on camera because you can see our just bundle of fucking power cable there, because who gives a fuck? That side of it is just a who gives a fuck. It's just a fuck. I do know something, because this is a louvered top, and this is completely open and vented, and there's a filter. But that worries me, because where I'm going to put this in my storage room has canned goods and box goods. There's liquids up there. And this is going to be on the floor. Actually, you think this will fit in my IKEA lac rolling thing? I'm just worried about, I was just standing here. I'm like, oh, I'm going to take a drink of water. What if I just want like, blah. Ooh, bad. Right down on the hard drives. Right into the power supply. Like this just... Top fans make me nervous. When I did them on my original computer, the Xeos Pantera, which was the name of the original computer I built with the modded, it had 3 small 60s on top. And my God, they were loud. Anyway, keyboard and mouse are hooked up. I don't think I'm going to need the mouse very much. It's going to be mostly just a keyboard show. And I get to pull out the little USB from the original build of this. This fucking tiny little bastard. This 32 gig bastard. Because JDM Quat's got to show me what to download on this, because that's our entire operating system is going to be held on this. And you're going to leave this in there, and it's just going to load it. Every time I start the thing up, hopefully you're not starting up very often, but every time you start it up, it's up. So I'm just going to leave it running. I'm going to turn it on again. We're plugged in. Oh, by the way, with this little monitor, 76 watts for the whole thing. So let's turn that on again. Blue. Heard fans spin up. More blue, more reflections. Birds chirping are louder, way louder. This is going to run through its whole thing where it's like, hey, I found hard drives, but I can't read off of them. It's not going to see the controller card until I get into the operating system. He recommended all these parts, so I know from serverbuilds.net that you're going to get everything that's going to work. It's not going to be like, oh, you installed that thing? No, it doesn't work. This lit up. This did light up. Am I just on a bad surface? No, I said okay. Now will this work? Oh, wait, where did I plug this in? They're both plugged into the front. I wanted to see if they would work. I mean, it's lit up. And I have a mouse cursor, but it's not making the mouse cursor make the go. Let's see. I could also probably turn this brightness up a lot. Okay. So we have MIT, which I don't have to go to MIT anymore because I now have an option in my BIOS that says MIT. I'm just playing with this like it's a rolled up piece of paper. Advanced frequency settings, advanced memory, advanced voltage, PC health. What are we looking at? Reset open case status. No. Disable. What? Escape. PC health. Okay. I'm very confused. Maybe this top socket doesn't work. Hold on, let's find out. I'm switching this to the back. Let's see what that does. A non-SS. That moved a little bit. Maybe my mouse has just gone bad. It's my old Myonix. This is one of the most comfortable. Myonix Now 7000. Literally the most comfortable mouse that I've ever owned. Like just look, your whole hand just rests all the way to the tip. It's a big wide. It's like someone figured out how human hands work. So reset case open status, disable, enable, disable. Well, if I hit it, I can see the voltage. V-core is 1 volt, 0.96 to 0.44. It's wonderful. I love how it does that. Computers were already, it's already a Xeos computer. Anyway, case open, yes. So there's like a case open sensor in this motherboard that I have to disable. Case open status, wow, it's literally not stopping. Unplug my, there we go. Xeos knows all the tricks. Unplug your keyboard, obviously. Open case is set to yes, which I don't want. CPU core voltage, CPU DDP, DRAMs 1.6. We're going to adjust all of this. What's our current wattage? 78. With this little monitor, 78, which is not bad. Miscellaneous settings. I hate that it's doing that. So CPU fan is CPU fan. System fan is what I'd want to play with, because system fan is all the other fans around it. So currently, temperature is 24 degrees Celsius. It's cold in here. That window's open. My feet want things. I wish this would work. System fan fail warning. Definitely want to enable that. I think I'm just having issues controlling everything. I might have to try a different mouse. Because I get the mouse cursor, but I should be able to also just tab through these things. There, it's trying to do... It's just on like an absolute fucking unit loop. I try plugging into the back. Maybe the front's just a real pain in the dick. Again, remember what I said. There's never ever going to be a computer you put together and it just works perfectly and there's nothing wrong ever. No matter how much you plan, I'm going to try you with using one of those USBs. Everything's going to be fucked. All the time. Something's going to be fucked all the time. You watched me build it. You watched me build it. Where we are currently is whatever's wrong is wrong just from factory. There's some weird setting. I just want to be able to navigate the fucking BIOS. Ugh. Can I reverse these two drawers? I don't know if I can put the glass one on the other side. I still don't have this. It seems like I can navigate a little. I just unplugged the mouse. There you go. PC health. Reset open case status enabled. Disabled. That's just an indicator. So smart fan 5. Yeah, I can now at least navigate around. CPU fan, system fan. System fan. So here, CPU warning, temperature enabled. Temperature warning, CPU temperature or system temperature or chipset temperature or VSOC temperature. We're gonna leave it on CPU temperature. Temperature warning, 80 degrees Celsius. Just put the warnings on. Put them even absurdly high. It's fine. Fan speed. is really weird to navigate. Flow rate or fan speed. That's maybe my two choices are. Sys fan 1 speed control is normal, silent, full speed. So now those 5 Arctic fans are on. Blow the fuck. Blow. Fucking blow. And this actually got loud. Like I got... Normal is like inaudible, and it's moving plenty of air. So, fan control use, temperature input, chipset, CPU, GPU, chipset, I guess. GPU, I'll ask. VRM memos, VSOC. I kind of wish I had a temperature probe so I could put it on the hard drive itself. I can't pill the temperature of the hard drive. And the interval's on 3, which is fine. So you can hit space to get into a menu, but you can't space to select. It's very weird. You gotta hit enter. Sysfan control mode, auto, voltage, pulse width modulation. PWM, which is what those are. Make sure there's... When they're on low, I literally can't tell. I have to look at the back one. The 4 in the front, and there's 1 in the back on that same module, so I could actually physically look into it and see. Okay. System, English. Let's change the time. It is not, it's, what do I gotta go? Oh. Enter, page up, tab, down. What time is it? 6:43 and 47 seconds. That sounds close enough to me. So it's only off by a few. Access level administrator. Quit without saving. No, I just don't want to do that. BIOS, boot options. So what I got to do is I got to change these boot options to USB. Fast boot, I could probably enable fast boot, ultra fast or enabled. SATA support, VGA, USB support, full initial. So basically I'm going to tell it, I only have this. Oh, for fuck's sake. I only have this. Boot from that first. So how do I disable it in here? Like I could swap things around. I guess I have to do that. That's... Boot option 1 is the Sabrent, which is the M2 drive. I want the boot option to be... I want the boot option to be obviously USB first, but I think that's just gonna be a thing it does. SATA support, last boot SATA devices only, all SATA devices. NVMe support enabled, VGA support, UEFI driver, USB support disabled or partial initial or fully initial. PS2 device support I could disable. I'm not going to plug any old school keyboards in this. Network stack driver support. I'm going to have to go over all this with him. This is his baby. He does this all the time. Because I'm sure there's going to be some specific settings that I'm going to fuck up. Initial display output, integrated video, IGD video, integrated video. So that's what we're gonna look at. HD audio controller, disable. I'm not doing audio on this. Trusted computing, USB configuration. Let's look what that says. Legacy support, handoff, mass storage support, yes. Port emulation, disable. Back. PCIe storage control, administrator passwords. Next, peripherals, we just there. IMU, auto, I have no idea. Integrated graphics, auto, yes. Actually, what are the other options? Forces. Forces. I like force. Force is great. Forces, UMA auto, SATA mode. This is, it's going to be probably ICHI, not RAID. Because it's seeing 4 ports on it, and 3 of them have hard drives in it. All showing their correct 14,000 gigabytes. 14,000 gigabytes, holy shit. That's so many gigabytes. NVMe RAID support. I'm not. None of the RAID is going to be controlled through the board. I don't think it's all going to be controlled through the software. Chipset SATA port enabled. All right. AC power. AC back always on. Turn on. In other words, if this loses power in the middle of the night, come back on when you get power. Power on by keyboard disabled, doesn't matter. Power by mouse disabled. ERP soft off by power button. delay 4 seconds or instant off? Delay for 4 seconds because it's array. It's going to be a thing. Wake by alarm, wake on LAN enabled, high precision event timer enabled. Save and exit. Save and exit setup. Load optimize default. Boot override. I'm going to save and exit. It's not going to still load. We don't have an operating system. We got to go do that next. So I'm going to go shut this. I'm letting this just run. I'm just going to sit here on this table in front of an open window. It's nice and cool. I'm just going to let it run. 6 gigabits per second speed. I'm actually going to bring it back to the... It's going to bring me back to the BIOS because there's nothing to load. It's just going to be like, hey, I'm the BIOS again. Remember me? And I'm going to put it back on status. I'm going to just watch the temperatures. Which it's fucking... I got to close that window. It's so cold in here. Do we have temperatures on the side? We have frequency, cache size. See, I would love to get those. It just moved. You watched it move. Am I hallucinating? Did my mouse die? Is my mouse bad? It's like 9 different surfaces. It doesn't move. The mouse is not going to move. PC health. I don't want that. I want 28C and the fan speed. Mostly go down to system fan. 25C. Let's keep it on CPU fan. 28C. All right, everybody. I'm going to go do a thing. And I might bring this back on for showing you how to install the thing on this. But for now, this is just sit here using 82 watts. I wonder why it's 82 now. It went up from 76 to 82. Wonder if anything I changed freaked it out. All right, Burb.